What's up, people? It's your boy Sly. In this video, I'm going to talk about loneliness. Loneliness is a state of being alone. A lot of times, a lot of people in America today are very lonely. Some people have no one to talk to. Some people have no one to hang out with. Some people have nothing, right? So what happened is that a lot of times living in America today, a lot of people are very lonely in a sense where they don't have anyone to depend on, or anyone to kick it with, or anyone to, do things with. A lot of times, many people work 40-hour work weeks and they come home to an empty house. That's very depressing. But why these things are happening is because part of it is because it's based on individualism. Living in America today, everyone does things by themselves. Nobody likes to be around anybody. People don't depend on other people, so they end up doing things alone. And another reason why loneliness is happening is because, or increasing, is because a lot of people today have horrible personalities. Some people, when you're younger, they're just straight up assholes, they're dicks. You know what I mean? All they do is look for trouble, start drama. But the moment you become older, you don't want to talk to them. You don't have to talk to them. You cut them off, right? So now these people who were assholes and dicks, now they want to come back into your life and try to get back into your life. But reality is you don't really need them. You feel me? They're only coming back to you because the truth is nobody wants to deal with them. If I haven't talked to you in 15 to 20 years, why do you think I want to talk to you for? To be very sincere, if I want to talk to you, I keep in touch with you at least once a year, once every 2 years. I keep in contact with you. But a lot of people you meet, that's why a lot of times some people were just assholes and dicks to you in the past, they now want to talk to you and say, "What's up? How's it going?" But you're like, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? You know what I mean? I don't need to talk to you. But a lot of people in America, they are doing these things. They're going back into their past of people that were people that were mean or rude to, or whatever you want to call it. They're not doing it because it's genuine. It is because now they're older. Nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to be around them. Now they want to try and repair a broken relationship. This happens all the time, right? Because these people are now lonely because because their shitty personality, they realized was not going to help them in life. They realized being crappy as they were, they now think that it was cool, or whatever you want to call it. So when they enter into adulthood, they carry the same personality, and guess what? They realize nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to deal with them anymore. So now when they get older, guess what? They're lonely as hell. That's why I look at people cross-eyed. If I see someone I'm not too close to try to talk to me, I try to examine, why is he talking to me? What does he want? Believe it or not, loneliness has a mental effect on people. People go crazy. Some people really do go crazy because they have no one to talk to. But we're living in America today. America is one of the most isolated countries we live in today. A lot of people are so individualized, they don't do nothing with nobody. People today, in many cases, is by default. You living alone does not mean you're lonely. Okay? Loneliness is when nobody wants to deal with you. That's loneliness. Okay? That's why nursing homes are increasing higher numbers. A lot of people don't want to take care of their parents or their relatives, so they leave them in nursing homes. This is what's happening, right? Another thing that's happening is that you have some people who spent their time not helping anybody or just being assholes or whatever you want to call it. Now when you get older, when you fall, no one's going to help you. You feel me? That's why a lot of people today are always frustrated. Because let's say now, for example, you lose your job, right? You have no one to talk to. You have no one that will help you. You have nobody that will help you achieve your goals. Or you have no one who can help you find another job. So what happens now? You're spending months trying to find a new job, right? But if you knew people, if you were nice to people, you wouldn't be struggling for a job. If you lose your job within a month or so, someone will help you find another job. That's how things work. But a lot of times people don't do that. Some people are just going by the wind. They feel because they think being an asshole will get them far. That's why a lot of people can't hold a job for a long time. Because they have this shitty personality of being rude or being disrespectful, or they want to explode on people. I laid them out. I'm the one. I'm not the one to mess with. Blah blah blah. They carry that bullshit personality into the workforce, and the workforce says, "Guess what? We don't have to deal with you. We're done." Minimum wage jobs usually leads to loneliness. Let me tell you why. Because when you work these minimum wage jobs, you are replaceable, right? If you have a shitty personality, guess what happens? They will fire you, and they can replace you within 2 days. Walmart, for example, is one of those companies where a lot of people who work at Walmart hate their jobs. I don't care what anyone says. If you're working the front end of Walmart, people hate their jobs. The cashiers, the fucking stockers, the loaded. Most people I know hate their jobs who work at these retail jobs, right? Like Walmart, for example. Guess what happens though? Okay? Guess what happens after that? These people end up getting fired. If they some people get fired because they are late to work, they got a shitty personality, or whatever the fuck it is, they get fired. Okay? And what happens when they get fired? They go back home and take that negative energy from the workplace into their apartment, to their families. So guess what? The girlfriend or the wife says, "You know what? I'm tired of your bullshit temper tantrums. I'm leaving." You see what I mean? When those things start happening, these people end up being alone because a lot of people don't want to deal with negative energy on a daily basis. So minimum wage jobs do lead to loneliness. It's not in all cases, but in many cases it does. Because if someone annoys you at your job, what happens? You can't take your anger out on your family. I mean, you can't take your anger out on your job because you'll be arrested or you'll be fired. So you take that same energy out on people when you get home. That's what leads to loneliness, because a lot of people don't want to deal with that shit. A lot of people today think the world owes them something. Okay? Some people feel because society did them wrong. Some people feel because they have a college degree that they are entitled to a job. Some people feel because of their own personal experiences that they put in a lot of energy into doing something that they should have a job. It's not true. A lot of people don't understand how things really work. So that's why these people today end up being alone. And believe it or not, when you see people at these restaurants, many of them are alone. Go doing lunch, go out in the afternoon and shit. You're gonna see a lot of people alone. People are doing things alone because people are so lonely out here. You can't do shit with nobody out here. Everyone's just alone. You know, America is a socially disconnected society. People don't like talking to people. People don't like meeting people. People don't like doing anything. You don't like meeting people, but these are the same people who will start complaining that nobody wants to hang out. These are the same people that will start saying it's hard to meet new people. But guess what, though? They don't want to meet nobody. You know what I mean? Or if you meet somebody, it must be on their terms. another little bullshit, right? But that's the way it goes in living in America today. Believe it or not, most people today are freaking lonely. No one talks about it, but it is. I've been there before where I used to work 40 hours a week, 40 hours a week, right? If not more. Come home to an empty apartment, no one to talk to. Very depressing. It is very, very depressing. I've been there before. So when people say so there's a lot of times that some people, they have roommates or partners they don't like just because they don't want to be alone. They want someone to talk to. They want some kind of interaction. If not, they go crazy. That's the way it goes in America these days. So it plays a very big role, you know? So, that's the way it goes a lot of times. America is a very isolated country. People here don't like each other. The average American wants to fight somebody. The average American wants to explode. They want to do all these things, right? And this is what happens most of the time. The average American wants to go crazy. Because, they go crazy because of their current situation, that they're financially struggling, they have no money, they're broke, and they just want to snap, and they want to fight. That's the way it goes in America these days. That's the way America is. Believe it or not, loneliness is taking over Americans. That's why a lot of times we see people when they come here. Some people come here, they're just angry. That's why some people become desperate talking to people because they're so afraid of saying the wrong thing that the person will stop talking to them. That's why I look at these people like in some of these other countries, like Africa, countries like Latin America, even Eastern Europe. Okay, those people tend to focus on relationships with people. They don't have to like everybody, but they focus on relationships more than materialism. Americans are so concerned about buying luxury things because they think it will make them happy. No, they only buy luxury things to impress other people. See, many smart people only buy things to impress their friends. But some other people only buy things to impress other people that they don't like. And that's what's going on. That's why so many people you see are spending money buying luxury cars and fancy apartments just to impress their friends or to impress their coworkers, right? That's what they do, to impress other people, but not doing it for themselves. That's why so many people today are in debt. People today are in debt because they're spending all their money buying stuff because they think it'll fill that void in their life. It will fill it, but it doesn't. People are just miserable. People today are not happy. People today are just angry. They're just mad all the time. Loneliness is what's affecting Americans today. That's why you see more violence and aggressiveness. Because the average American the average American wants to fight. The average American, they want to explode. Because their current situation sucks. They have no one to talk to, no one to spend time with. That's why things are the way they are. So that's all I got to say about this video. Peace.